I'm Raj Kumar, President and Editor-in-Chief of Devex, here in Paris once again, and joined by Arnauld Bertrand, who is a partner at Ernst Young. Arnauld has the responsibility for France, Luxembourg, and the Maghreb region, and is about to, as soon as we finish our interview, go off and sit on a panel talking about social impact measurement. So I just wanted to grab a few minutes with you to ask you, from the business standpoint at Ernst Young, how you see this evolution in convergence between the government sectors, private sector, civil society. You work for the government and public sectors within Ernst Young. Is this happening? Do you see this at the government level?
In fact, at EY we are working both on private and public sector. And this is probably the main issue for all the emerging market. To build this relation between public and private, they've got to build very strong administration in order to be able to capture both public investment and private investment. If the administration is not strong, if you've got corruption, if you've got loss of money, there won't be international donors present in your countries, and at the same time you won't be able to capture at least small and medium enterprise, maybe big companies on large project, but not the medium one. And these are the one who build the future of the countries most of the time.
So from a business standpoint, for your company and for others that do consulting work, it sounds like a growth area is building capacity. Capacity in the developing world, is that what you're saying?
Exactly. It's mainly capacity building. You've got a mix of political will, and you've got to support sometimes this political will, and at the same time there is a large, it depends from the country, large or huge issue in terms of capacity building.
Can you give us any examples from your work? What are some countries that are investing in this?
Yes, I could give you a good and a bad example. Sure. If you take what is going on in Tunisia or in Nigeria, for example, you've got very, I don't know if we can say weak administration, but at least you've got a very difficult political situation, and therefore you've got an administration that is not very strong. You've got processes that are not very strong as well, and therefore the public companies as well as the international donors are not coming. If I take another example, we're working at the moment with the Angola government, and just because there is a political will in this country, we started from the beginning, going to the finish, not only restructuring the state, but in fact building the new state, new processes, to be sure that we have a strong administration, and therefore that this administration can be a start for the development of the country.
Yeah, this is a big theme that's being discussed here at the conference, and it really goes beyond convergence, and it's simply country ownership, right? Something we've seen a lot in the development sector, donor money going directly to countries. It's something that you see in your business at Ernst Young. How has it affected your own business? Are you doing more in-country? Are your country offices more important in your business development in the development sector now?
Well, at the moment there is also huge issues on the government side in the mature countries because of the public finance constraints. So we're doing a lot of business in the mature countries, but there is a huge opportunity of business also in the emerging market. But the key point for these countries is really to be able to build the basis of all, which is stable government and stable public procedures. If you don't have this, you don't have money. Most of the projects, if you take EY perspective, are financed by international donors, and international donors are putting money where the public sector is strong. When you take the World Bank, for example, they've got some country rating, and to have the maximum score, you've got to have a very strong administration, strong processes, little corruption, and if you've got this situation, you get money. And if you get money, there is business for EY, and there is business for developing the countries. If you don't have this situation, it's very difficult for these countries to get public money or private investment, and therefore nothing can happen.
Yeah, the incentives are becoming aligned along that line. So let me ask you one more thing, which is about the panel you're about to go do, social impact measurement. This is a growth area for your business too. Tell us about it. Where is this coming from? Why such an interest now in funding social measurement?
It's coming mainly because as we have a financial crisis. It's not finished yet. There is little amount of money that goes either in the mature countries or in the developing countries, in the emerging one. Therefore, there is a very large need for value for money. if you want to invest in some developing countries, you've got to be sure that it will have an effect. So either you are a private company, but then you've got the bottom line, it's quite direct, or if you are a public body, or even an NGO, you need to prove that the money you bring on the project or on the program is highly performant. So you've got to evaluate the impact of this investment. It's quite necessary for the public side, and it's growing and growing for the NGOs who are also calling for private donors. And for private donors also, you've got to be sure that the association or the foundation is doing very well, and therefore you've got to evaluate also the social impact.
And even for private companies too, as you say, they have a bottom line, but increasingly they care about their own philanthropic giving and even their own business implications on the society.
Of course, but it is less an evaluation of the impact. It is more to be sure that you've got a direct return on investment.
Sure.
So when if you are an NGO or a public donor, you can invest on the long term and therefore evaluate the long-term impact of your investment. When you are a private company, most of the time you've got a need of direct return on investment, so it's more a short or medium-term results.
Well, very interesting conversation. I think a couple of big themes that come out for me are thinking more about measurement and data and impact, something we're seeing across the development sector, and also how do we respond to a new era under financial constraints, and it's really a greater push toward capacity building and country ownership than ever before.
Sure.
So thank you for these interesting insights, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.